This is Harold, and this is Lolly. They have a pretty good life, but that wasn't always the case. Harold and Lolly were adopted through Pumpkin's Acres Rabbit Rescue, a small rabbit rescue in southern Ontario based in the St. Catharines and Niagara region. They're the charity I'm spotlighting for the 2024 Project for Awesome, because, well, they're pretty awesome, and they could use some help. Now, I could go on in detail about the record number of rabbits dumped outside each year, how domestic rabbits being dumped outside is a death sentence for them, the problem with breeders dumping their rabbits and breeding unethical breeds like lops, how many rabbits in shelters are facing euthanasia for overcrowding, how rabbits are often bought as children's pets even though they're so fragile that dropping them can break their spine, how they can't live outside because even getting wet could kill them, how they need a lot of space to run around and can't be kept in a cage, how most female rabbits who aren't spayed develop ovarian cancer, and unspayed and neutered rabbits can have a full litter of bunnies every 30 days. I could talk about how important their special diet is, how social rabbits are and their need for a partner, and how most people don't understand the special care and expensive costs of a rabbit before getting one. I could make a long video about each and every one of those topics, but today I wanted to talk about Harold and Lolly. Because I can't save every single one, but I can save these two. Lauren Isley wrote in his story, The Star Thrower, about a mass of starfish that were beached after a storm and a young boy who was throwing them back into the water, while an old man came up to him and said, "It doesn't matter how long you stay here, you'll never be able to save them all." The boy, while picking up starfish and throwing them back into the sea, said, "Well, maybe I can't save them all, but it matters to this one, and this one, and this one." Harold was a dumped bunny that was caught in the wild by one of the Pumpkin's Acres volunteers. Someone threw him away like he didn't matter, and he was trying to fend for himself outside for who knows how long. Then someone saw him and reached out to Pumpkin's Acres. As is often the case, volunteers went out, captured him, and brought him inside. He was underweight and scared, but even so, he was immediately cuddling up to his foster for any affection he could get. I saw a picture the rescue posted, and well, I immediately knew he was going to be my best friend. Lolly was in a different situation. She was in a Quebec shelter and about to be euthanized for overcrowding. She wasn't even 6 months old yet, but the rescue stepped in the nick of time and saved her, placing her with one of their volunteer fosters. Luckily, Harold and Lolly were both pretty healthy, but often the rabbits Pumpkin's Acres takes in, either from shelters, abandonment, or owner surrenders, are in need of a lot of medical assistance. They tend to take in these cases because shelters normally would put down rabbits that needed such expensive and time-consuming care, but Pumpkin's Acres tries to save as many as they can. The charity runs on public donations and is organized through volunteers setting up other volunteer fosters who are willing to open up their homes and care for the rabbits until they can be adopted, and this is expensive. Rabbits can have very high vet bills, and they are often taking in rabbits that have faced severe neglect. Lop-eared rabbits often need a type of surgery called a peekaboo because they're prone to chronic inner ear infections. That can cost around $10,000 per ear. Not to mention all the spays, neuters, and vaccinations they do for each bunny in their care. When my late rabbit Wednesday, who I also adopted from Pumpkin's Acres, got very sick over the course of just a few days, she required $9,000 worth of care before she passed away in the span of 48 hours. This adds up pretty quickly, especially if you have over 40 rabbits in your care. That's sort of why I'm hoping I can encourage some donations their way with this Project for Awesome video, because they deserve it. They use their time, money, and emotional labor to make sure that these small, fragile creatures get a second chance at a good life, so that bunnies like Harold and Lolly and so many others can live a life where they don't have to worry about being in pain, being abandoned outside, or if they'll have enough food or water to survive. Nowadays, Harold and Lolly like to spend their time running around their playroom, causing chaos, lounging in their favorite nap spots, eating hay and salads, and begging for treats whenever they hear the jingle of the cookie jar. Their biggest worries now are whether or not I'm going to run out of their favorite cookie, or if I'm not going to share my banana with them. A life of luxury that wouldn't be possible without the dedicated team and volunteers of Pumpkin's Acres Rabbit Rescue, and for that I am eternally grateful. If you'd like to donate to Pumpkin's Acres Rabbit Rescue, I'll leave a link in the doobly-doo for their website and their Amazon wishlist. Their website also has a lot of great information and resources on rabbit care. And if you think you'd like to foster a rabbit and save a life, please reach out to your local shelter or rabbit rescue. You too could end up with some fluffy little marshmallows that are your best friends. Plus, it really matters to them.